Everyone, I'm Allison. Thank you for joining me for Where I'm From 227 with Chanel. Well, I hope you enjoyed your holiday weekend. If you are in the United States, I hope you enjoyed celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. and having a day off to do the things that you love with the people that you love. And what are you reading and celebrating in an incredible man, his legacy? What are you reading? I'm reading The Intentions of Thunder, New and Selected Poems by Patricia Smith, which is the National Book Award winner for poetry in 2025. And award-winning books, and I'm like, but this is a remarkable poetry collection. And I was thinking about how, hello,
You
I'm good. How are you?
good?
Good. I was just saying what I'm reading, which is I'm reading Intentions of Thunder by Patricia Smith.
Let me see the
Um,
cover.
have you read this?
Let me see. It looks familiar.
She won the National Book Award for Poetry this year, Patricia
Oh,
Smith.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put her on my list.
Yeah, it's like her new and selected poem. So I was just saying it's kind of incredible because it's like the whole, life of her work. And
Oh, cool.
it's, I mean, it's great. So yeah, welcome. It's nice to meet you. And thank you for joining me. I'm very
Of
excited to
course.
hear your poems.
Thank you. Let me see if I can share. Hold on. I gotta go to, let's see.
Technology.
Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna share it. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna share it.
What's happening?
Oh no, I was trying to cause I was trying to share it
Oh,
in my
okay.
art page, like
Because I heard you like saying what you just said again. I was like, what's happening? This is a new frontier. Because you have like another account. Is that what you're doing?
there we
Okay.
go. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Alrighty. So thank you for having me on.
Of course. My pleasure.
Do you want me to just get started, or do you want me to just introduce myself a little bit first?
Whatever is the most comfortable for you. It seems as though Instagram has made it now that you can't share a whole live. This is what I have discovered. So the first
Oh,
3 minutes you can share as a reel, or you can download it and share 20 minutes, which is what I did last
I
time as
got
a
you. I got
post.
you.
So
All
I'm
right.
just letting you know the
I
whatever.
got you.
The
So let me go to the poem and grab it.
Okay. But then talk at length and read your other poems after you read this.
Here we go.
Okay.
So I really enjoyed this prompt. It was really fun. At first, I was like, oh, let's see what I can do. I mean, a lot of my poetry is kind of in that vibe already, where it's like
Yes.
I use a lot of nature and
Yes.
things like that to describe what I want to talk about. So I didn't name it, so I guess it can just be where I'm from.
Well, I want to say just quickly, you sent me the other poems first, which
Yeah,
didn't follow the prompt in a way that I could
yeah,
see, but I
yeah,
was like, maybe these are her exploration of the because you do write in a way that feels like in relationship with it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I wasn't
Uh-huh.
sure if those poems, which you'll read after this,
Yeah, yeah. I
were
had it
so
in a
it was
different
anyway, it was really
costume.
interesting. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the one that I did that was an actual prompt.
Yeah, yeah. So go for it.
I am from warm vanilla sugar body cream from Bath and Body Works. I am from the rusted shutters and worn down bricks. Water damaged wood weakened under my feet. I am from chrysanthemums, my rounded mounds and lavender florets. I am from the country style cookouts and kickbacks, full bodies and slickbacks with slick mouths from Lavina and Larry. I'm from the inability to stay quiet or coddle people's lack of accountability. From stop talking and stay out of grown folks' business. I'm from faith and a silent prayer. I'm from Washington, D.C., chitlins and pickled pig's feet. From getting caught in a building fire in the early hours of New Year's Day when I was 7 years old. Being woken up to alarms and sirens and smoke-filled hallways. It's a miracle I'm still here. But despite all the challenges and weird obstacles in my life, I'm proud and thankful for where I'm from. Home. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, I love this poem and I appreciate yours and what a journey you take us on for from all these places. And I'm glad you are a miracle and that you made it.
Thank you.
That must have, did you have trouble sleeping after that?
You know what's crazy? It's one of those events in my life where I don't remember a lot. Like, I just remember going to sleep and then I woke up and, like, because I watched the ball drop on TV.
Oh,
And
right.
then I
Hmm.
woke up and my mom was like, we got to hurry up and get out of here. And we open the door and there's people leaving. And I remember, like, she was like holding me, like, and we were gonna go down the steps with a group of people, and then there was just like smoke and fire at the bottom that we could see. And honestly, after that, I don't remember anything. I just remember we were all outside, and like I was like standing next to a firefighter, and that was pretty much it. Like, it's so
Hmm.
strange because it's like, I don't know. I think my brain just kind of like wanted to make me forget about it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And that's what our brains do. And that's why I am so interested in memory. And I think this poem and how what we remember and how we remember it, because, I've remembered things over time, right? As I've
Mhm.
felt safer and able to access things, I'll remember things that
Right.
weren't safe. And and I think as a society we should all have a little bit more understanding of how memory and trauma works.
Hmm.
you know we don't remember
Right.
because our body's like,
Yeah.
you, you can't handle this, so just keep going, we'll take
Yeah.
care of you, so yeah, it makes sense you wouldn't remember. I'm sure that was terrifying. I mean,
Yeah.
just hearing about it like gets me like,
And I feel like if I was a little older, it would have been scarier. But since I was
mm,
little, I don't know.
mhm,
I feel like our brains don't
mhm,
necessarily process danger right away.
mhm. Well, and maybe you felt, safe with your mom, like
Yeah.
that she was gonna handle it,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Too.
Yeah, like it's nice to believe that we're cared for, that
Yeah.
someone's got us, you know? Um, and you drew such an evocative picture of where you grew up and where
Mhm.
you're from and the food and the people, and what was it like for you to return to it? Is it something you write about much, or was that different?
I'm the type of person with my poetry, I like to be vague because I don't necessarily always like people in my business too much.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I like to use a lot of metaphors and things
Hmm.
like that. So with this challenge, it really challenged me to like be more open. Like, I have
Hmm.
to be
Hmm.
very descriptive, like
Hmm.
use this family's person name or describe this or tell a
Hmm.
story about an event in your life. And I'm like,
Hmm.
all right, I don't really know what you want to say, but yeah, and then I thought about that and I'm like, well, it's something that it's personal, but it's not something where I feel like I don't really want a bunch of people to know about it. So
Yep.
that was kind of a challenge for me, is opening up and being more descriptive
Hmm.
without having to hide behind fancy words and descriptions and using metaphors and things like that.
Hmm. I think poetry can, this a poet, Jane Long, she wrote a memoir and she was talking about how different that was for her, because poetry did give her space to talk about these really difficult things,
Mhm.
but the things that were the most painful or private, she could, you know, not directly discuss. But when writing a memoir, she did have to go there. And she realized how, like, kind of part of the reason why she was drawn to poetry
Yeah.
initially, because it
Mm-hmm.
gives you that space to write about these things that are so important to us, but not feel potentially as vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
with it with other people. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I think that's part of the reason children like poetry so much.
Yeah, yes, I agree. I agree. And I wrote poetry when I was little, but it wasn't something that I thought I would get too deep into. It was just
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, I like telling stories. So I want to try to, it was my way of like just telling little short stories and things like that.
Yeah, I think it's so important to tell our stories
Hmm.
in whatever way that is, if it's in conversation or if it's in poetry or right anyway, because it helped me feel real,
Right.
like I'm a person and this is
Yeah.
happening, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so, anything else you'd like to say? Because I know you have two other poems you'd like to read. So, is there anything else you'd like to say about the prompt or this poem or your experience?
Um, I'm actually glad I did this challenge because it reminded me that I actually published a book, like poetry
Mm.
prompts to like help people get into
Oh,
poetry.
nice.
And doing that reminded me that I had that book because I haven't promoted it in a while. And it just kind of encouraged me to like get back out there with the teaching aspect
Mm,
of
hmm
poetry,
hmm
promoting that book more and maybe doing a poetry workshop and things like that. So yeah, it kind of like reignited my love for teaching literary things.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I love that because I think prompts are so powerful because they can help people feel like there's a way in.
Yeah,
You know, because I
yeah,
think sometimes people get so overwhelmed by the blank page. It's like
mhm,
I don't know, like I got so much to say or I have nothing to say.
yeah.
And obviously we all have something to say, but yeah, I think that'd be great. I mean, I don't even know, you share them on social media too, like, and
Sometimes,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's hard out there, there's a lot coming at us, but
Mhm.
I am so grateful to everyone who is making their art and sharing their art because it does give me hope,
Yeah.
because I feel like seeing people create, it reminds me of like, okay, it matters. It does matter.
Hmm.
And it can sometimes feel like with everything that's happening that only that matters.
Yeah.
Um, and that's a lie that they want us to believe. So
And it keeps us
no.
sane and it keeps us, it keeps us grounded, I feel like.
Yes, 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 absolutely. And has helped me, reading and writing has helped me so much to find myself and pieces of myself that I have forgotten, you know? Um, so that's very healing and makes me happy. So, would you like to read your other poems and share whatever you'd like about them as well? And why did you choose these two in this conversation?
Um, these are two recent poems because since I've been more focused on my painting, I haven't been
Yeah,
writing a lot.
yeah.
But I remembered I was doing this, so I'm like, why don't I write one or two more poems just to try
Hmm
to get myself back in the habit?
hmm
So, this poem, it's called Amphitrite. She's goddess of the sea. This one is it's fictional. So
mm
sometimes I like to write poems that don't necessarily have anything to do with my real life. It's just me having
hmm
fun.
Yeah.
Um, I speak, I smile, I nod, wink, whisper to him, sitting there, Mr. Suave in this place, trying to hide a hint of shade. My presence, I'm self indulgent, but my love song whistled for him. I'm performing for someone. I get butterflies from across the ocean, his exotic dialect with words like an aphrodisiac, an ode to a goddess, not sexually, but emotionally. My body language locking onto his, I took pride in hell as euphoria. And my song, I gave it away. I spent my days, spent my nights finding new ways to get distracted. For so long, my heart ached. I just enjoy the silence. My feet stopping me when I peered into his eyes, my eyes began to tear up. I saw potential as a human being. I had so many scenarios about being young and irrational, but I had to live for me. Poem. So that's just like me having fun with some Greek mythology.
I liked thinking about a goddess not sexually but emotionally.
Hmm.
I I love that because I haven't ever really thought of it that way, but that is oftentimes like how goddess is used, right?
Yeah,
It feels so reductive, but that's all a goddess is.
yeah.
Like
And I
obviously
like
that's
to,
part of it. Go
yeah.
ahead.
And I like to remind people that, like I said, poetry does not always have to be non-fictional. You can just have fun and write poems about pretty much whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever is on your mind. And I was saying like with Patricia Smith's collection, to read about 40 years of her work. Like you can only do that with poetry. I can't read 40 years of a novelist's work in
Yeah.
one book. And like what was on her mind, and it of course takes me on a journey because she's older than me, but we've lived a lot of the same years. And she writes a lot about Katrina and these different events. And yeah, poetry takes us on a journey and it takes a little of our time
Yeah.
like to just it's really it's incredible. And I just kind of stepped away from poetry for so many years because I felt like, oh, it didn't belong to me. And
Yeah. That's
I
how I
wasn't.
felt at first.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way. I don't know who we think it belongs to though. That's
Right.
always
I think it's just like being intimidated by
hmm
other people who are so good at it and have so much
hmm
to say. And I'm like, do I really even have a lot to say, to be doing
yeah.
poetry? But I got over that as I experimented more. And I actually um, I republished my first poetry collection from 2020 in 2024. I
Mhm.
went back and I basically took out like some old cringe poems when I was just experimenting, and I included some newer unpublished
Mhm.
poems that I haven't shared before, just as like a way to show my readers and followers like this is how I've grown as a poet. I'm not just writing any old silly thing that comes to mind. So it was basically like a kind of like an anniversary celebration just to show my growth.
I think that's wonderful. And it was a friend of mine who I am very close with but have never met in real life. She came and visited me this weekend, which was such a joy. And she's an artist. And she drew Reburn. She was the artist who
Oh,
drew Reburn. Yeah. Yeah.
nice.
So, yeah. So obviously, we've talked so much for so long. I love her very much. And she came to visit and we were talking about art and she's like, I mean, if you're an artist, you're going to look back on things and think they're cringe.
Right.
Like it's so important to remember that that's part of the process. Like,
Yeah.
don't not do something not wanting to be cringe. I mean, you're going to look back and think, ooh, like that's part of it.
Yeah.
And, and that's great. It shows how much we've grown, which is amazing. Because sometimes I think when you're in the process of evolving, sometimes you forget you're doing it. And
Yeah.
so it's nice to be able to look back and think, wow, okay,
And I hadn't published anything in a while, and I don't have enough poems for an entirely new
right,
collection. So I'm just like,
right.
let me take advantage of some new stuff I've done that hasn't been published yet. And yeah, I just decided to do that.
Yeah, I love that. And then you have one more, right? Another
Huh?
poem? You're gonna
Oh,
read one more?
yes. I have one more poem. This one is called Rebirth. This is a poem that I wrote just as we entered the new year. It
Mhm.
was a New Year's poem.
Mhm.
24 hours I spent as I dreamed. The look on my face, hands in the air, my excitement peaked slowly, becoming replaced by the unknown. My pillow next to me, something to calm my mind. The covers warm. I would come home, good enough in my body. I spot someone, their eyes glued like stares, uncomfortable. I pretend I was among them. I heard a voice. I peered out at this unfamiliar place, reveling in, revealing the unpleasant feeling of a breeze broken. I
Mhm.
could hear a sigh of relief. This time I avoided eye contact, hiding the fact that I stood there, leaned back, my lips pressed together, reckless with the stranger. My conscience was worth the risk, saying yes because my body was my first dark place. The more intrigued I became, my life moving too fast, still holding my heart in protest. Immersed in the moments on cloud nine, my emotions chaotic, but I was ready for my door this time. I could see right through my bedroom like I pictured. I turned to look back at my door disappearing into the night. Poem. Thank you.
The feeling of a breeze broken.
Hmm.
I love that. I love a breeze. Like I
Same.
I feel like the wind is talking to us, right? And then of it broken. Yeah,
And
I
that's
love
what I
that.
mean about when I say that I like to use a lot of metaphors
Yep.
to express myself without, just telling the world every
hmm
single thought that I have.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, in doing that, you give me language to think about what that means to me,
Mhm.
like what that would be for me, it's this for me, it's a sweetness that is broken or ends. And anyway, I love that. So thank you for sharing
Of
all of
course.
these poems with me. Really appreciate it, and I'm so glad Tanya connected us. She's such a good connector.
He is. We actually have our book coming out in February. Yeah, the anthology.
Yeah,
So
you're in there. That's
I'm gonna be
awesome.
coming back soon.
Oh, congratulations. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
thank you.
Yeah, she's a great community member. I really am grateful to be in community with her because she cares so deeply.
Yes, yes. She's actually one of the first people that I connected with when because I started publishing in 2017, and then I met Vogue, who introduced me to like the Henderson Writers Group,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then that's how I met Tanya because I did Dime Grinds. So
yes.
yeah, we've basically just been like friends since then, and I've just started to meet more people through
Mhm.
her and the group, and just Vegas is small. Like it's kind of like the
Yeah.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I get that sense from talking to her. And it does seem like Henderson Writers Group is a really great community.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's important when you're creating to not feel like you're alone.
yeah.
So, oh, well, that's wonderful. Anything else you'd like to share before we say bye?
No, that's pretty much it. I run a poetry podcast. If anyone
Yes.
with these clips is interested, I'm a painter. So if you want to buy some paintings, you can follow my other account, which is Chanel.is.painting. But that's all I have for you guys today.
Well, thank you so much again,
Thank you
Chanel. And
so
it
much.
was lovely connecting with you. Thank you for your support of Reburn.
Of course, thank you. And I
Yeah,
can't wait for it to continue if it ever
me neither.
continues.
Me neither. I love working on it. And the people I work with it on is so special. And everyone thinks that I wrote it about Tanya.
You know what? I did see the resemblance. I was like, maybe she's like kind of an inspiration for the main character.
It's so funny because I didn't know Tanya when we did this.
Oh,
Yeah. And she takes it to cons and stuff, and people be like, "Oh, this is you, right?" She's like, "No, it's not. I promise it's not because I didn't know her, but the resemblance is uncanny in
yeah.
moments for sure. Yeah, it's something. Anyway, thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too. Have a good day.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.